G'day team, welcome on in. I'm Sebastian Gower and I have a brand new fresh canvas here today. It's looking absolutely stunning and it's a project that I'm doing with a man named Jeffrey. Jeffrey lives in Pennsylvania and I'm here in New Zealand. Now this canvas for Jeffrey, I love it. This canvas for Jeffrey is going to be capturing his home in Pennsylvania, the Keystone state. A view very nearby his house, and I thought what could be more appropriate than capturing the view that's nearby Jeffrey's house by painting it in a view that's nearby mine. So I'm overlooking the most incredible scenery that's here in the Bay of Plenty in the North Island of New Zealand, and I'm going to use the colours and the outside energy to vitalise me to make this painting in Pennsylvania for Jeffrey. Now at the moment this painting has got a soft title. We're calling it the Keystone State, which is the slang name for Pennsylvania. But that's open to change. And maybe as we go down the process, Jeffrey might think that actually calling it something more localised to his specific home might be better. So let's find out. But anyway, canvas, landscape, Pennsylvania, Keystone State, a big, fat, fresh brush. Check that out. That's what we're working with. A big, fat, fresh brush. And we're gonna put layer one down on this lovely, lovely canvas. Layer one. Tons of paint everywhere we can put it. I've said it over and over again, but I can't stress this enough. We start wild. Always start wild and then build in, come back to a bit more clarity. Ooh. Are you a part of creative mornings? No. When you say creative mornings, are you meaning mornings that are creative? Or are you upset about something creative? You're mourning, sad about creativity. Who knows? Right. We're going to use medium to thin the paint out a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Not too much. Get that. This is exactly what we're after. A little plate. I love these plates. These plates are paper. But you can fold them up like little tacos to hold the paint better, which I absolutely love. Everyone who hasn't seen me for a hot minute, it's been raining here and I've been building some beautiful new canvases. So this is canvas. This is not our usual masonite. It's different. It's pretty special actually. It's 12 Fox. 12 Fox and a blend of polyester and cotton. It lasts for longer, it handles humidity better, and it stretches tighter without ripping. Mwah! I love everything about this canvas. And the back of it is pine, good quality pine. It will stay nice and rigid, it won't bow. And then after this is finished, it's gonna have a beautiful floating frame. Not sure if that's gonna be pale wood, white or black, but the time is coming to choose. Everyone who has missed me over the past 5 days while it's been raining, and I've been doing these other little bits and bobs, it's lovely to be back, and I've missed you too. Hey Jay. Right. First colour. I am an absolute stickler for a few little bits of habit, and one thing I cannot resist is just a little bit of ultramarine blue to kick off with. It's not the darkest colour, it is not, but ultramarine blue is just the tastiest, juiciest pigment you can possibly imagine. Look at that. Arguably, I reckon this is I think this is the most popular colour of humanity. The most popular colour is blue, and I think the most popular shade of blue is French ultramarine. And if that's not true, then please don't fact check me, because I'm going to use that fact more times. Okay, brushstroke number one. I'm ready. Are you ready? One last sip of my little coffee that's had 2 little midges fly into it. Anyway. Tasty. Okay. Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, ultramarine blue, colour number one, layer number one. I feel like I'm about to start a Hollywood film. It's not, it's a painting of Pennsylvania. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Perfect first stroke. Oh, that's exactly what I'm after. See that there? That's perfect. Our mix of medium to paint, absolutely stunning right now. It's thinned it out enough, it's just transparent enough. And I'm not going to go the whole way around the edge, team. I'm not going to go the whole way around, just a tiny bit. So when that floating frame is on, you'll still be able to see the paint going around, and that's exactly what I'm after. Then down in here, juicy, just down there, and then across it, there we go. There's these rolling hills in Pennsylvania, and down the front here is a delightful, and I mean delightful, amount of texture. I don't want to dry brush it on. I just put the last coat of gesso on this yesterday, and I see a comment there on tightness. Ready? Hear that? Your canvas needs to sound like a drum. It must sound like a drum. If it doesn't sound like a drum, it's loose and flappy and it won't react well to your brush. The canvas needs to flex. The brush flexes. So when the brush touches the canvas, with masonite, you have to be more delicate because the brush will move, but the masonite won't. With a canvas, the canvas will move slightly. And so as you're stroking, there's this dance that happens between brush and canvas. And that allows you to push a little bit and for the canvas to bounce back a little bit, and it allows for everything to look more sleek, fluid, and smooth. Now, it doesn't mean you can't do that with masonite. It just means be more careful. But with a canvas, there is this romantic part to it because there is this dance between your tool, in this case the brush, and the canvas, and the way they push, not pull, but push on each other. It's oddly enjoyable. If you haven't painted on a good quality canvas, just once, just give it a go just once. It'll change your life. It's really a wonderful experience. I do like masonite, guys. I love masonite, but the beauty behind canvas is that therapy that comes as it slowly moves back when you push on it. And the brush, it's so delicate usually, so delicate, but when it gently pushes on the canvas, it can apply that light bit of force that makes both the things, the brush crumple up and the canvas move back. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Sorry for getting weird on it, but I do get weird on that. Okay. We're gonna overdo it. Like we do every time, we're gonna overdo it with these blues, guys. And it's so important if you're gonna overdo it, I've gotta make sure I don't use too much texture. I wanna use too much blue, but not too much texture. It's in the right place right now. There's a mountain right here in the middle. It's the focal point. I couldn't help myself. In terms of composition. I've put the mountain bang in the center. And the reason I've done that is I felt like it's a nice nod, subtle nod, but a nice one, to the Keystone state. So a keystone is, if you imagine Roman archways and things like this, there's stones that go the whole way up, and there's one stone bang in the middle that holds the whole archway together. There's no glue, there's no nails, there's no nothing. It just holds itself together because of physics. And the keystone's right there in the middle. And so in this picture, that mountain stood out to me, and that's going to be our keystone in the composition. So that's the first little nod that we're doing. The first little nod. And while we use ultramarine blue, the colour that means beyond sea in Latin, we start to capture those darker areas. Yeah, that's just absolutely gorgeous. You know, I put 3 layers of gesso on it. I could have sanded and gone for a 4th, to be completely honest with you. But I'm glad we're here now. The weather was just too good, team. Too good. So I had to come out here and enjoy it with a few wild coats on this canvas. Guys, it's been raining heavily, coming down all over Tauranga. And since it's been coming down all over Tauranga, we've been getting these frames, these canvases, and boxes for shipping built. So here we are now, enjoying the weather, getting a little bit sunburned. In fact, speaking of, once again, hey Shelby, would it be okay if you get a spare second to bring me out some sunscreen? That'd be magical. Thank you so much. I forgot. Out of all the things to forget. Absolutely shocking. Right, where are we gonna go next? Just down through here. There we go. Now, the only mistake we can make right now is failing to overextend these colors. With the initial color we put down, if there's a small part where it wants to go, we're gonna go over those edges. And as long as we're going over the edges, we can come on back later with our lighter, other fun colours and allow those to cut in those shapes. There we go. Beautiful. Big swirling colours. Now, it was really, really fun to speak with Jeffrey on the phone, on a e-meet, a Zoom, a Google Meet. So you get all these different terms. Really, really fun to talk to him because Jeffrey owns a few of my prints. And so what was really fun about talking about this particular commission of Pennsylvania was when we discussed it, he could refer back to specific artworks. I love this work, I love that. Zambezi in Africa. Two of my low-key, guys, I don't have favourites, but two of my low-key tied favourites, and amongst all my other favourites, Africa and Zambezi. Those two works absolutely blow my mind. I can stare at Zambezi for a long, long time and get so much pleasure from that work. It's in South Africa now, and I missed that one. I actually missed out on a print of it. They, bless me, they sold out before I actually got my hands on one. And this, guys, this absolutely breaks my heart because that's one that I've always wanted to have in my home. So if you're sitting there on one of the 10 copies of Zambezi and maybe it doesn't fit in your decor, please, 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 please tell me about it so I can buy it back off you, because Sebastian Gower wants a Zambezi in his life. It's elephants by the water of the Zambezi River, and it's just wild. There's a bit of clarity, there's so much colour, it's natural, it has such a good blend of wild, crazy primary tones and then earthy and natural tones. It's the perfect balance, and I get romantic about Zambezi. And so with this one, we want all the colours and beauty of this place in Pennsylvania, all of this area here, covered in flowers, covered in colour. And what this wants to be is the kind of work that when Jeffrey looks at it, he's reminded of the beauty of the place he calls home. He's reminded of the colours and the special elements inside this landscape that make it so, so important to him. And if we can capture those right, it won't just be for Jeffrey and the people in Pennsylvania. Everyone will be able to see that and feel those same emotions that Pennsylvania brings for Jeffrey. That's the plan. That is the plan. Now I'll know if we've landed there if I start getting romantic about it. Once I start getting romantic about it, I'll know that we're in the right place for everyone. I've been to Pennsylvania, I think 3 times. And since I've been 3 times, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's absolutely lovely. There we go. Sunscreen, team. Vital. Here we go. So I've been to Pennsylvania 3 times. I haven't been to this specific location before. But if we can capture the beauty of it from the photograph and been inspired by this landscape here in front of us, then this will mean a lot to a lot of people. That's the plan. Okay. Here we go. Like the abominable snowman now. There we go. Give me a second while I rub this all in. No, it's perfect. It's perfect. What's that like, guys? Is that rubbed in enough? It's perfect. I think we're just going to be slightly more white. This sunscreen. That'll just be how it goes for a little bit until it seeps in. Such is life. That'll do. That'll do. It's close enough. Sun peeling down here. Right. Perfect. One more sip of coffee. And no more will that sun cascade down onto me. Turn my skin red. It'll keep that amount of sunscreen will keep me as a nice pasty white. There we go. Just what every dad aspires to be. Let's grab a bit more of that. Here we go. It's probably enough of this now, but I'm going to add a bit more of this transparent medium through it. Mix it up a bit more. And although it will still be the same blue, it's going to be a little bit more see-through, which I find quite fun. Here we go. Push that up there. Here we go. Beautiful. See how the other areas are slightly darker. This is coming over the top gorgeously. Excuse my sniffles, there is a bit of hay fever brewing around with the pollen that's in the air. A little bit of pollen. This will be the last bit of colour we add in with the ultramarine blue as well. So let's get this across here. Yeah, nice. And right across the top of the canvas. Gorgeous the whole way across. It's exactly how I want it. Like that all the way to the other side. Nice. Beautiful. I think we need the whole sky with that sort of flowy, flowy paint. Gorgeous. Give me some more of that. Right the way over to the edges. Perfect. Down the sides. Perfect. That's what I'm after. Just like that. So much fun when you go around these edges a little bit. Just like that. And then clean few strokes just over the top. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Bit more. Go on then. I don't need to go right to the back over the top. But I do need to make sure the first little bit has a coat. Because when I put the floating frame on it, you'll be able to see the first ½ an inch or so. So there needs to be coverage there. This is the sky at the moment. Big, long, flowing strokes are fundamental in the sky to make sure this place is the beauty that sky has. And as we go, we'll add some rolling kind of shapes in there because it's a big cloud bank. Clear sky at the very start, big cloud bank, and it rolls up on the left-hand side. So, capturing that properly. This is going to be part of our little quest. And thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate that. There's a wild card, though. I think voting has closed. I don't think it's still open, Jay. But if it is still open, absolutely. Chuck me a vote. And we'll see how we got on. Otherwise, wherever you are in the world, just hang out here with me and enjoy it. Because we've got an absolutely stunning day here. Absolutely stunning day. Absolutely stunning weather. And an absolutely stunning landscape to be here playing with. So, I'm very, very grateful. Now the next colour. Here we go. Similar to the ultramarine blue, just a little bit on the darker side. Get some of those little darker pockets, and then I think we'll probably run off into some phthalo green. But look, time will tell. Now, the question does come up every now and again. Seb Gower, are you a relation to the New Zealand reporter Patrick Gower? The answer is no. He's a lovely guy, but he's no relation. There's also Gower Funeral Services, and they actually live in a similar area to my family. Again, no relation. No, the Gowers are farmers, guys. They're not reporters. They're certainly not funeral service operators. And we know how to look after cattle, sheep, chickens, lay fertilizer, look after land. This is the Gowers. Not much of horse riders, actually. Shelby's more of a horse rider than me. But that allows us to cover all our bases, having Shelby doing the horse riding and me doing all the other bits and bobs. Of course, I'm the first generation to break away from farming. Well, my father a little bit too. And that's what makes us a little bit different from the rest of the Gowers in my tree. But I think you can take the boy off the farm. It's gonna get cheesy here. But you can't take the farm out of the boy. I think that comes out in a lot of the ways I do things. In the way I like to paint, in what I like to paint, and in a way, how I like to paint it. I think all that stuff comes into it. Here we go. You know, one thing I really like about coming into summertime though, if you hear that, you can hear the first few cicadas starting to make their little chirping noises. And I love the first few of them and the last few. In the very heat of summer, there's so many it can become a bit much. But right now, that's the perfect amount of cicadas. One or two, chirping away. I like that. Here we go. Let's get a bit more in here, across the top. You can see how immediately, with just 2 shades of blue, you can already start to see this gorgeous landscape coming to life. We plan to bring it to life with so many colours. But these first 2, well, they're having a fairly big impact, which is pretty exciting to see. If it gets too thick, we've got a few techniques to bring down that thickness. Pictures coming together. And our only job, I love it, our only job is to enjoy it and watch it happen. If you don't have time to watch it happen, I get it. I totally get it. Life's a busy thing. You can catch the little 10-second replay when I get all the brush strokes that we're adding and I put it over just a wee bit of music, maybe leap around a little bit. And you can enjoy that. Or, if you've got time, I appreciate you being here with me and making this painting with me together. The first layer on Jeffrey's first commission. This is the first time that Jeffrey's commissioned me to do a painting for him. He has some of my prints, but this is his first original. And so, this is a very, very special journey in that sense. I told him, I'm on a conquest right now, on a quest, on a slow process. Lovely, fun, joyful, slow process of capturing each one of the American states. We've gone through a few. We've done Montana. We've done New York. We've done... I mean, some of them aren't actually the whole state. They're cities or places in states. Like we did Santa Fe, a city different. I really want to do Texas one day. And today I have the absolute privilege of doing Pennsylvania. It makes me really happy. And so, aside from Jeffrey living in Pennsylvania and wanting this picture, it's also really special for me because I get to do another state that I've been to, that I've had the pleasure of going through and seeing, and now of capturing. And I don't know, it's funny, as I went through Pennsylvania, I would have smiled if you told me that I'd be back in New Zealand painting a picture of this place while you looked over your own home. I think that's pretty cool. I think that is pretty cool. Okay. Let's put a bit more in here. And if you think there's a slight delay between the speech and the video. There might not be. It might be the case that I'm actually a very, very good lip syncer. I'm actually saying things on time, but it looks like I'm lip syncing 3 seconds behind. It's a very complex skill. It takes a lot of thinking. Here we go. A little bit of this, mix it up in there. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's get a bit more of this through these hills. Gorgeous, gorgeous hills. One after the next. So much forest, so much greenery, so much nature. There we go. Absolutely stunning. Now dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands. Above my head, head, head. Lady Gaga, Gaga. Can I move you a little bit, guys? You won't get offended if I pull you around this way slightly? Can I do it? We're gonna do it. Hold your horses. Don't lose your ground. I hope this helps. Just gonna move you to there. There we go. Let's have a look and see how we are. Yeah, we're pretty much in the right spot. I think that's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. The sun is absolutely streaming down, so it can be quite hard for me to actually simultaneously read comments and paint. So if I miss your comment, first off, it's a huge regret of mine. I don't want to miss your comment, but you're welcome to reach out via any social media platform. Get in touch with me and or email seb@sebgowart. But most importantly, thanks for being here with me, spending time with me, guys. There's a big internet out there. It's good to have you here. I'm doing a pretty good job sipping this little coffee and avoiding those 2 little bugs that are in it. I can't guarantee I'll keep avoiding those bugs, because every sip I take, it gets a little bit more likely that I'm going to swallow them. So that's the danger we run. Right. Let's continue. Bit through here. There we go. Beautiful. I think you're too dark now, paint. Too dark. I don't want to lose this brush here. Give me just 1 second, team. I need to put this brush in water, otherwise it'll cake on and go hard. Got it. There we go, team. It's all in a lovely little box there. We'll put that down. Right, next stage. Woo. Pouring medium, brand new fresh plate. Let's begin. I like this bottle here though, because it's just got that funness to it. You can spin it around, squirt from it, put it back up there. Whatever you like. Now, fresh brush. Sorry for disappearing there. What is the next colour gonna be? Ah, jeepers. Jeepers, jeepers, jeepers. I think we're going to go for a light green. I think a light green is going to be a bit of fun. Cheers, guys. I appreciate that. The shirt is from an op shop, and I'm very proud of it. Very, very happy with this shit. Right. For those who don't know who an op shop is, Macklemore writes a song about op shops. It's called Thrift Shop. Pretty fun song. Right. Love from Thailand. Welcome on in. So guys, I'm sorry for being vacant this last week. The weather's been all over the show. All over the show. And it's a pleasure to be able to come back here with this beautiful weather. Be it slightly wet. Slightly wet, guys. But beautiful, beautiful weather. Be able to come on back here and continue painting. Now you might notice as well that the painting I'm working from is actually from a black and white photo. Now the reason it's black and white is for the underlying darker layers. It allows my colour palette to go in all sorts of directions, and then the later layers refine itself down to something more accurate and specific. You don't have to copy that. No one has to copy that. That's just my way of doing things. I do love the spatter brush though. Its ability to just chuck on paint, play around on the surface, dabble everywhere. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. If you're just joining us, this is a commission. This is a work for Jeffrey. This is one of 2 commissions that are happening this side of Christmas. All the other works are going to be in January 2025. So there's this one other commission, and then an original work that we're going to put together this side of Christmas, which I find pretty exciting. Pretty exciting, team. Now, ooh, good question. Guys, in New Zealand, right here, this is the view of the Bay of Plenty. The Bay of Plenty. So the Bay of Plenty is 2.5 hours south of Auckland, and it contains plenty. Thus the name. No, it's the Bay of Plenty is home to a bunch of places, but most importantly, it's known for amazing beaches. Like everywhere else in New Zealand, great coffee. Not my homemade coffee, it's a little bit rough, but everywhere else for great coffee. Just fiddle the paint into those gaps. Beautiful. All around there and over the top. Lovely. You can get it right around the edge there. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I need a bit of white to go in there. A little bit of white. Just to turn that green into something a little bit more light. You see how the whole painting's starting to actually encroach too far into those sort of darker shades. And while I like it, I want that light back. Where's my white paint? Heading down here. Perfect. A little bit of that, not too much, just a little bit. And then I need some of this stuff here. Love this stuff. My transparent medium, which means that every stroke that got added after the first, it'll all be part of the end result, because in the smallest of ways, you'll be able to see through every single stroke that gets made. And that's kind of a fun nod to all the ways you can actually understand how something came together. There we go. Let's get that over those tops of the mountains there. And through there. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then down through here. What a gorgeous, gorgeous day to be out here. I wondered too, as that sun sort of goes past us there, maybe we do a bit of a twist, guys. Do you want to do a bit of a twist with me? Let's go like this. Don't freak out. Bear with me. You might recognize those trees there. I'll bring you just a little bit closer. I don't want you too far away. Just far away, they don't flip over the canvas and throw everything in all directions. There we go. Now I'm going to need to push you in just slightly. There we go. Just because the level that the ground's on, we're on a wee bit of a tilt. But God, jeepers, isn't that weather gorgeous? Isn't that weather absolutely stunning? Let's bring you up just a wee bit. There we go. All right, how are we doing there, team? Perfect. I think we're doing great. Right. Here's my paint. Here we go. Where are we at? Let's get this out of the way. You go over there. Soak in this. And soak in that. We have this whole space to ourselves. One thing I might do though, bring this down ever so slightly towards the edge. Just bring myself slightly closer to that nature. All right. Gorgeous. It is hot, hot, hot out here today. Outrageously so. Let me put you right there. Wow, wow, wow. Heat cascading down. Wowza. Everywhere. Power. You realise the force the elements can have. Jeepers creepers. That sun, a burning ball of gas so many miles away, coming down so aggressively that that I can hardly think straight right here on the edge of this cliff. How wild's that? next one. Next one. What's the next colour going to be? Where do we go here? Where could we possibly go? Where do we want to go? Well, just the colour. If I can get its lid back on. Baby, baby, baby. Ooh. Now, if you're quite vigilant, and I mean quite vigilant, you have to be quite out the gate. You might be able to see that mountain. Now, there's a cloud bank across here, a mountain like a Keystone, which is reminiscent of the Keystone State, Pennsylvania. Keystone State, Keystone Mountain. Not that we're turning the mountain into a keystone, but that it's right compositionally in the center. Another little hill here, maybe a bit more in the background, a few more hills here, and then a bunch of beautiful, beautiful, thriving, bouncing, colourful, streaming nature. And that's the plan. That's where we're going to get to. The next colour is quite erratic, different and wild. Now, this may catch some of you off guard, but trust me, I'm an artist. Let me cook. We're going into magenta, and we're going to let magenta tinker around in these base coats. Inside these mountains, and over the hills, adding some depth, some fun, and some vitality to them. Okay. All right. All right, in for the next colour. That's gorgeous too. It's everything we want right now. It's delusional. It's all over the show. It's confused, it's wild, it's primal. This is everything we want. It's everything we want. Definition, facts, they can all come later. What we need first, what we must have first, is that wild, primal, raw feeling that paint can bring. And this is getting there. In just 3 colours, 4, 2 shades of blue, 4 colours, we're getting there. We've got so much further to go, but I like the energy here at the moment. I like it, I'm a fan, and I want more of it. Now, after saying that, you might think I'd show up with something like lightning yellow, but it's not the case. Instead, the colour I'm showing up with is my tasty, trusty, ashy, browny, raw sienna, or burnt ochre, forget. The colour's a little bit more dirty. It's like a bark or literally a dirt, a wet mud kind of colour. Now, why would I put that in the painting? It creates that contrast between the fun colours. It creates that balance between the wild colour and the more relaxed, earthier tones. If we strike the right balance, our pop colours pop even more. If we never put that contrast in there can be no pop. There's just intensity. And that's, though fun, I think contrast is always a good thing. If you can see how muted a colour can be, then simultaneously you can see how much it can pop. So this colour here is going to bring those natural earth colours to the landscape. Those delightful, deeper, soil-like colours that brings realism into a piece. And from this colour, those magentas, blues, purples, and later on, Joan brilliants, corals, yellows will all stand out all the more because of it. It's really fun for me. If you're wondering where this is Pennsylvania. Not me, I'm in New Zealand, but this is Pennsylvania, the place we're painting. The Keystone State. And Jeffrey doesn't live far from this location. He's nearby. And this is our messy, wild, chaotic, extreme, silly, in some ways insane layer 1. And after layer 1, then we slowly start refining our palette, refining our colours, our shapes, until we really feel like we've captured the essence of Pennsylvania. But for now, I just need to make sure I'm having fun, that you're having fun, that we're enjoying slashing paint over this canvas. If we do that right, you wait, it's going to be fun. There we go. Look at those earthy colours. They already, even the small amount we've added, are making the whole picture pop. It's a necessity, and one that we'll come on to later. Grey. We're going to add some grey onto it as well. A colour you wouldn't think would ever make a painting pop, but grey, kind of like yogurt in a banana split. Doesn't add a whole lot of flavour, but without the yogurt, banana milkshake, without the yogurt, banana can't pop properly. You need that little bit of yogurt to make banana all the more perky and creamier. I don't know how you like your banana milkshakes. And I have to go easy on the yogurt too, because dairy doesn't sit too well with me these days. I'm 31, guys. And at 31, you have to start thinking more. Corn chips? Nah, they're out. I love corn chips. I love them. I love them, love them, love them. But the problem with corn chips is I get acid reflux. So when I go for Mexican, I go for twice as much mince and a few less corn chips. And every time I do it, it breaks my heart. But this is the reality of entering your 30s. Same goes with dairy. Gotta be careful around that milk. Gotta be careful around that yogurt. Ice cream. All of these things. All right. There we go. There we go. A bit more up in here. Beautiful. Now I need some more of that white. Can't help it. Just keep adding white in. Here we go. DJ saying, you're not laughing at my intolerance to lactose, are you? How rude of you. It's not a full intolerance, it's just a little bit, guys. Just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to move into a tanner colour. White into that same brown. And let that just start taking a market share on the surface of this painting. That's the plan. Green or red, one of the two, team. One of the two. Depends which one we find first. Ooh. And on a less yummy note, I'm enjoying myself here, but if you remember, all that sunscreen lotion that I added onto my face, some of it's now gone into my mouth, and it's not very yummy. It's tastes very sunscreeny actually. That's all right. We'll do one little sip of coffee, and we'll clean these glasses off a wee bit, and then we'll continue. Now, I don't know if you've been here since the start. Oh. Great question. TikTok nomination for Creator of the Year. Yes, so the voting on that's now closed. And we're back here creating just like we normally do. Me and Shelby and I, are flying over to Australia. We're leaving Cooper behind. Cooper's staying back, and we're flying over to Australia to go to the awards. Shelby's already got a dress picked out, and she's in charge of deciding what I wear. We haven't chosen yet. So probably I'll go along in traditional Sid Gower art fashion. We'll wear a paint stained shirt and probably these pants, paint stained, because I reckon that's authentic. Of course I'll feel a little silly if everyone else is in tuxes, but you know what? Maybe we get a tux and put paint. Ooh. Maybe. Give me ideas, guys. Maybe we get a tux and just cover it in paint, and maybe that's what we wear to the awards. But anyway, that's coming up. And I'll give you updates on it when we're heading over there and all the rest of it. But for now, we're making this special commission for Jeffrey. I'm actually so excited to be a part of this, guys. You know I love doing landscapes in the States. If you live anywhere near Yellowstone and you've been thinking about getting a painting done, I've been fantasizing for years now of actually finding the perfect picture of Yellowstone National Park. I've been all over the internet, I've looked at a bunch of shots, but I haven't found the right one. So if you've gone there as a family or by yourself and you've seen somewhere in Yellowstone and you've got a phenomenal image, please get in touch, because that place speaks to me on levels I can't explain. And the other place I'd love to paint, I'd love to do the Yosemite Half Dome. I just don't want to do any picture though. I want someone who has one, who's made a connection with the place, and I want to bounce off and feed from your inspiration. So if you've been to some national parks, Grand Tetons or Antelope Canyon, Yellowstone National Park, it would be an absolute honour to capture that for you. It's an absolute honour to be here for Jeffrey, capturing this phenomenal landscape. Imagine having this much wilderness right outside your house. Not exactly outside it, but you know what I mean. On your figurative doorstep, having this much nature. I'm always blown away by how much nature the US has. How much incredible nature. And you don't take it for granted. Your parks are so incredible over in the US, just incredible. Love them to bits. Imagine more people. You may say I'm a dream, but I'm not the only one. Again, we need more white. Aloha, Steve. Welcome on in. And it's been a hot minute. Guys, if you're just joining and you haven't seen me for a while, I apologise very sincerely. It's been raining very heavily here in New Zealand, here in the Bay of Plenty. And I took that as an opportunity to build some canvases, to get some frames sorted for them, and to get their boxes for shipping arranged. So there's been stuff happening behind the scenes, but not front of facing, where we make the actual artwork. So I'm excited to get this break in the weather to be able to be out here again with you guys, because it's been a while. It's been a while. I had a box full of DMs of people saying, yo, what happened to the love? Get back out there. And here we are. So it's exciting. It's good to be back, team. Here's a recommendation. I think maybe a black tux and a white Jeepers Creepers. That's all on. I don't know. I'm not really a tuxedo kind of guy, guys. If we do get we might get a jacket to wear for the event, but I reckon we should get paint on it. I reckon we should show up covered in paint. I think that's on brand, right, guys? We wear nice clothes, but we're not afraid to get paint on them. I don't know. I haven't consolidated my thoughts yet, team. So let's see where we get to. All right. A little bit more white. Let's see where that takes us. A bit more here. This is my transparent medium, by the way. This is going to make sure the paint stays thin on the surface, so I can layer aggressively. That's the plan. Da da da, da da da. And oh yes, Steve, I saw a notification of an email come through from you, but I'm apologising because I haven't checked it yet, so I'm a little bit behind. Sitting in Texas, wishing for your weather. You know, I've been to Texas twice, and when I went to Texas, it was so hot. I've heard of hot, guys, but I haven't heard of hot. You guys deal with temperatures I can't even fathom. Here I am outside right now, complaining about the heat. I don't know heat, not compared to you guys in Texas. I got off that Greyhound bus, and I took a couple of steps out between the Greyhound bus and the service station. And I learned that actually New Zealand only knows what mild means. Texas defines the word hot. So I'm not sure which kind of weather you're in at the moment. Probably Texas is winter, right? So you probably are getting that change there, but jeepers, in the height of summer, man, that was hot. That was hot. Kaya, yeah, nice surprise. And that is nice. There we go. All right. Now, it's also important to note, team, that this entire painting so far, the entire thing has been made with this larger brush. See that one there? It's a thicker brush. And the reason why that's significant is we haven't even began to get down to detail yet. We're playing around with those thick, a word that I like, actually came from the PBR, bodacious strokes. Thick, bodacious strokes. We'll get more refined as time goes on, but for right now, that's what this painting needs. Pennsylvania. So welcome on in. If you're from the US, you'll know Pennsylvania. If you're not from the US, that's okay. We have an education session. Pennsylvania, state code PA. We're here painting, and this is a landscape very, very close to a new collector called Jeffrey's house. And Jeffrey's house, he can go to this location daily if he wanted to. This is one of his photos, and we're capturing it. So this, in all its beauty, is the Keystone State. And just as the Keystone State, the slang term for Pennsylvania is called, so too, we've centered the mountain to sort of represent that Keystone nature, which I like. It's cheeky. Now, the next colour, because we're not done yet. Turquoise team. Now, as we get down to our tail end here though, guys, I say tail end because I only charged my device up to 50%. So it's about to die because I didn't put enough charge in it. That's alright though, that's alright. It's good too, because that makes sure I don't add too much paint. You add too much paint, it starts to get tacky and pull off the layers underneath. We don't want that. So you do, when you're adding it like this, you do need to give it time to settle and dry. You can't just add it all in one big giant hit. There we go. All right, and that is all the turquoise we need. Right, that's perfect, guys. That's exactly what we wanted on layer one. Wild, abundant color, a mountain starting to form in the middle, long strokes kind of flowing out that sky, and just a really endless kind of chitter-chatter and noise down the front here that's going to formulate that nature. That's really, really fun. Massive fan, massive fan. We'll let that dry now. Once it's dry, we'll come on back. Same story, transparency gels, with a bit more through it, maybe like a 50-50 or even a 5-to-1, like quite an intensive mix of transparency versus pigment, and keep going on with it. Next layer, less wild, more character, more detail, and then hopefully we'll slowly start seeing that landscape pulling forward out of the picture. That's the plan. Guys, from this little, thanks birds, you're staying though, I'll see you soon. From this little spot here in New Zealand, from this little sanctuary, wishing you all the best. And wherever you are in the world, have a great day or a great night. You're a pack of legends, guys. Bye now.